Hey guys, something a little different this time around. I'd like to talk for a few minutes about this game, Tomodachi Life. How I discovered this game is freaking hilarious. Um, well, it may not be hilarious to some people, but I thought it was hilarious. Um, I am subscribed to Nintendo on YouTube, so when they uploaded the Tomodachi Life Nintendo Direct, which I think is like 10 minutes long, announcing this game for North America anyway, um, I didn't know what the hell it was, to be honest. I took one look at the title of the Nintendo Direct, and I'm like, Tomodachi Life? What the hell is that? But curiosity got the better of me, as it usually happens on YouTube. And I clicked on it, watched it, and my initial reaction was like, this looks really weird. I like it. Like literally, that's pretty much what went on in my head. So since that Nintendo Direct was released, I had been looking forward to actually getting this, and I bought it day one. I actually ended up buying two copies of it, one for me and one for my girlfriend, so that we could both play this thing. And I kid you not, I have had so much fun with this game. Sorry, I'll flip it around. I've had so much fun with this game that it's beyond like description sometimes. Like the whole point of the game, basically, it's almost like The Sims. I've heard a lot of people try to compare this to Animal Crossing. This is not like Animal Crossing. Like, not even really a little bit. Like, I don't know how best to explain it, but I think it's closer to The Sims than it is to Animal Crossing, to be perfectly honest. But the basic premise is you populate an island with Miis and watch what happens. That's really the best description there is. You don't really technically play the game, you observe the game, if you want to get technical about it. But yeah, I've had a ton of fun. Like the initial group of Miis that I put in was just a bunch of my friends, and that right there just started off being funny, just because of the relationships that they build up. You'll have one friend falling in love with another friend and possibly getting married and then having a kid. Or you can try to mimic real life and try to encourage a specific me to go out with another specific me, but you can't really do that directly. You have to hope that another me wants to introduce a bunch of me's together. Like, it's hard to explain like in great detail, but really all you can do is sort of nudge decisions in the right direction. You can't directly influence anything except for when, for example, they want to possibly get married or have a kid. Then they will directly ask for your input. Like they're thinking about having a baby. Do you agree? Is this a good idea? Bad timing, etc., etc. I'd like to propose to such and such me. Do you think it's a good idea? Will you help? Yeah, the usual spiel. But it's still a hell of a lot of fun. I don't really know how else to encourage people to try it out, but I do believe that Nintendo actually put the demo on the eShop. Um, when I originally bought the games, it came with the little insert that had two scratch-off codes, so that you could give the codes to friends and they could download the demo, which was not available to the general public at that time, and then try the game out. And when they bought the full version, then everything would quickly transfer over. I think the demo, you would only allow three Mii's to be put in, so it's kind of limited, but that's the whole point. You just see what happens with the demo, and if you like it, you buy the game. But still, it's a hell of a lot of fun, especially when you consider all the wacky Mii's that people have made out there. When the Wii originally came out, I went me crazy. I just made every Mii that I could think of, like celebrities, friends, whoever. And since then, like, there haven't really been a lot of options for what to do with Mii's other than just the usual little dinky mini game type of thing that the Wii or Wii U or 3DS comes with. So 3DS in specific, like Street Pass, Meeplas, and all the Street Pass games, stuff like that. That's really all Mii's were good for. Since this game came out, it actually gives you a real purpose for making Mii's and screwing around with the Mii Maker and making some really oddball creatures that I've seen. But yeah, like that's what you do. You throw all these Mii's onto this island and watch what happens. It's a hell of a lot of fun if you're into that type of game. I know this game is not for everybody, especially for those people who like to have very specific control over what happens, because in this game you don't really have a hell of a lot of control. So just thought I'd throw that out there. If you are interested in this kind of game, then definitely take a look at it. Try the demo, and if you enjoy it, then pick it up and have fun with it. Like, it's a hell of a lot more fun if you just make a bunch of Mii's of your friends and family, because it just makes things that much more interesting. Like, with me personally, when something funny happens with one of my friends' Mii's, I usually end up taking a screen capture and uploading that to Facebook and whatnot, because the really cool features about this game for like sharing with friends and stuff like that, indirectly, I guess. The X and Y buttons act as camera shutters. I think the X is a camera shutter or screenshot, whatever, for the top screen. The Y button is for the bottom screen. That is the only function those buttons have, and it is freaking awesome. You can capture anything. Like, there are so many times in other games where you want to, like, oh, something cool happened, I want to take a picture of that, and I'd end up having to try to take a picture of the screen with my phone. That doesn't always work very well. So they built that feature in. Like, if you see something funny, click the button, instant picture. And from within the game, it actually has an option for you to connect to the 3DS image share option, which allows you to upload pictures directly to your Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr, I think. I use Facebook. And it basically just uploads the pictures to its own image share folder, and then you can do what you want with them after. And just basically like tag your friends and like, look what your Mii is doing in my game. This is funny. Like, I've done this so many times, it's hilarious. But one of the other neat features that this game has is the ability to send off travelers. Now, how this gets started, it may take a while. It involves your babies. And I know that sounds kind of weird, but hear me out. When you have a couple of Mii's and they decide to get married, they have the option to have a kid. When they have a kid, it takes approximately 5 days, give or take a few hours or whatever. And that kid grows up, and you are given the option to either let them move into their own apartment on your island or send them off to travel the world. Now, if you send them off to travel the world, that's literally what happens. You send them off, and through Street Pass, they will hop from island to island between people who play the game. So if you start off on, say, your X island, and you have the Street Pass feature turned on, and you have a kid, and it grows up, and you send it off as a traveler, it'll leave your island and go off to Y Island or Zoo Island. I don't know. Like, I'm just thinking up stupid names, but it even takes advantage of Street Pass relay points. So your Mii can quite literally end up all over the world once you send it off as a traveler. So that's a really neat feature, because pretty much every other 3DS game that uses Street Pass, it's just like one-to-one type of thing. Like, you exchange information with someone else, they exchange theirs with you, and that's about the end of it. With this game, if you send a Mii off as a traveler, you actually interact with a whole bunch of different people. Not directly, mind you, but your Mii goes off, visits their island, does their own thing. They take a photo with someone on that island, and then they send a letter back to you, which is delivered through Spot Pass. And that's still a really cool feature, because it kind of takes the whole interaction thing one step further for people from like one country to another country, even like all over the world. So that's a really cool feature that I thought was really neat and unexpected surprise. So yeah, hell of a lot of fun with this game. So please, if you're interested, even the slightest, try out the demo if you have to first, if you're not sure. And then if you're like that, then go pick up the game. If you think this kind of game sounds stupid, then it's probably not for you. Because if you're not a fan of sim games that simulate like life events and kind of stuff like that, then this probably isn't the game that you'll enjoy. Because it's not one of those games that you can just play for hours on end. Like it's something that you check in on every once in a while. It's almost like a phone game, but this is better than a phone game. So there's my take on the game. So feel free to check it out. See you later.